respectfully, I would say a paper, an annual review of neuroscience could have much greater impact than an average paper that's just related to, reporting an incremental discovery.
That's it. Yeah, I also feel about the same, because the point is that you see many journals, Bentham journals or many new publishers, they have only review journals. Current pharmaceutical design, review journal. Current medicinal chemistry, review journal. Current neuropharmacology, review journal. Their impact factor has increased so much.
It's great for their impact factor.
Yeah. But many universities, they feel that, that review is not your original work because you can write on the basis. But they forget that you are not invited to write a review unless you have not done any substantial in that field.
Yeah.
And you have your own data and own interpretation.
Right. Well, there needs to be
because that's why I think this calcium channel blocker in spinal cord injury, that lady Guha, she did these are still two very cited papers with Tater and your work on flow, and your new models about that. But so we are here to also say this, that we have to have this scientific direction. Reviews are much more important than individual papers sometimes.
So at the University of Toronto, I think that they will count the reviews.
Definitely.
They will count the reviews. They do look at the impact factor, and so they look at the citations and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but funny thing is here that even if I have written an editorial, maybe it in Nature not count, because it's not your contribution.
Right.
If you have published several volumes of progressive brain research, its impact factor citations are very high. That's why Elsevier has survived this and increased its volumes. No, you have no credit. Only papers. And that was funny story here. That Lars Grimelius from Uppsala University is pathologist, endocrine pathologist. He developed a new staining method. Okay, he tried to send his paper in different journals. Nothing has happened. And after that, he submitted in Uppsala Journal of Medical Sciences. This journal is published since 1400 or something like that. Okay, and after publishing there, nobody would like to publish their paper in that journal, even how old it is and traditional. But his paper was not being published anywhere, so he published there. After publication of that paper, now I think it's 10,000 citations.
Oh, good.
Really?
Yes, really.
Good.
Wow.
Enterochromaffin cells staining with a new method to identify intestinal cancer. That was his discovery.
Sounds like a pretty important paper.
Yes, pretty important paper, but it was not published anywhere.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. See, but now because of the internet, these traditional ways to measure the impact of journals is also changing.
Sure.
I would say, look at his his article.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where it was published.
Yeah.
That's a really important article.
Yes.
If it's been cited several thousand times.
Yeah.
That's a really important article.
Yeah.
That's a really important article. Yeah.
That's why here they are talking about H index,
Yeah.
because you cannot manipulate.
Yeah.
But you see that if you are not doing so much reviews and only few papers in like Acta Neurologica Scandinavia, most of the Scandinavian journals have very low impact factor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But since the research has originated from Scandinavia, some people do it. But it is very difficult to publish in paper in Scandinavian journals. Acta Physiologica Scandinavica, very difficult. Acta Neurologica Scandinavica, but the impact factor is very low. And so you can find many persons, according to American standard, to get a basic lecturer position, you should not be appointed if your H index is less than 14. For a professor, you should be at least 20. And of course, if you have 45, then you are invited by this American National Academy of Sciences to become a member. Okay? So due to this reason, many persons, they could be in any positions, maybe dean of a reputed medical university. Their H index is less than 17. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?